What's up? Welcome back to the Build Show, chat nerds. I know it's late. I said I would do the build, and we have no choice but to do the build because we have lots of builds to do. I have to stay on schedule. Yes, the gold. The gold is here. It is truly golden. Some gold cables. Hey, what's up, Joe? Welcome back to the Build Show. But today, here at the Empower Gaming Studio, we're going to be building a black and gold AM5 custom build for Don. So these were specifically colors that were chosen by Don and I. I believe he was here. I can't remember if we did it over the phone or if he came in. I'm pretty sure he came in. That's how many people I work with. I just can't remember anything anymore. So I apologize. I try. You behind are ya? Yes, I'm behind. I was in Vegas for CES. So now I'm like 5. Yeah, man, I can't even imagine. If I had tried to go to CES right now, which I probably could have, there's just no way this schedule would have worked out. Absolutely no way. Hey, what's up, Deether? Welcome back to the Build Show. Welcome in. We're just getting ready to kick this build off. I know it's a late one, but we will get through this. And hopefully tomorrow, I will have the opportunity to start these streams a little earlier. Because I want to, if I start earlier, I want to do a couple of them. And I've almost got everything here for the Intel B580 build. I've got a couple of other inventory builds, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 additional orders back here that are mostly waiting on parts, but and specifically mostly just waiting for GPUs to show up. I've also been hoarding some GPUs, so trying to get ahead of the game. Some of the more common GPUs that we sell in builds, so that I'm not waiting on, obviously. So I've got some GPUs coming in, so I can make sure we get orders, or so that we can take orders and get builds done at the same price that we're quoting. So yeah, I wish I maybe next year I'll go to CES, but this year just wasn't feasible for me. So it just, with everything that's going on right now, I've got another trip planned at the end of this month, and then possibly another trip planned in mid-February. So there's too much travel for me. I'm not a big guy on travel. I don't like traveling that much. I mean, it's not that I dislike it, but I prefer to be a homebody. So, Elite arrived. The XA70 Elite arrived. Nice. Was that all you were waiting for your build? I'm telling you, I can come up and build a few with you. You're more than welcome to anytime you want. You just come up here. I've got, we could figure it out logistically. Very limited space in here right now. Seriously, it just looks like a warehouse in here right now. It's just all the boxes. You changed your mind with the Ryzen 5 4500. I will match it with a 6600 XT. Yes. Yeah, the 6600 XT and the 4500 is a very good match. Very good combination. The CPU runs that card very nicely, or handles it very nicely. Looks like AM4. No, we're going to be building AM5 today. This is just a micro ATX AM5 motherboard. But if you look closely, it is an LGA board. It's an ASUS board. We're in search of Incredible by ASUS. So I did text Don, and I emailed him because I know it's late. I didn't get the text out or the email until about 10 o'clock, and I think the text even later, closer to 10:30. So I don't know if he's going to be in here for the stream, and I feel absolutely terrible because you're super excited for it. And part of me wants to hold off on this build so he can be here for the build, because I think he wanted to be here. I don't know. I feel really bad that he's not here and or not responding. I'm afraid he might have gone to bed. What's the specs? We'll touch on that in just a second here. Robert, fix it. Just a quick hello. I'll come back when it's done. No worries, man. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Welcome back to the Build Show, too. Ant-Man, welcome back to the Build Show. But, hey, Dark Hollow over on Twitch. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Sorry I missed that. Or it looks like it just came in. Glad I didn't miss it. Be right back. Got ads. I hear ya. I mean, I would hold it and work on another to be safe. But I mean, the schedule. If I don't do this one, it's going to put me on a schedule, because the only other build that we have to do, or that we do next, is another customer build. It's my fault. I didn't communicate well enough today, and I was just kind of chasing my tail all day today, trying to get into a... Hey, Michael, what's up, man? Michael, I am trying to locate a 9800 X3D for you. They were all in stock when we quoted it, and when I went to go pick one up from Micro Center, which was literally the only place that was available, it was they're all out of stock now. So and they had literally 25 plus the day I checked before I went in that same day, and by the time I got there, which was a little bit later in the day, they're all gone. I was shocked. So I've been chatting with our guys over at Micro Center, so they're supposed to let me know when one comes in, or the new shipment comes in. But it might not be until next week. If not, I'm just gonna order an overly priced one to get through that. But that's the only thing that's holding us up right now on the build. I think the case isn't here yet as well, Michael. So that's where we're at with your build. Chris Fox, I bought a couple $20 AIOs on Amazon a while ago. Nice. Where'd you find $20 AIOs? And welcome back to the Build Show. Michael Mason Baker, welcome back to the Build Show. Chris Fox, welcome to the Build Show. Same as you. Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show. I know we chatted earlier, but how are we doing? Dark Hollow One, I am doing all right. It's I've been chasing my tail all day today, trying to just stay above water. You know how you're swimming and you're tired and you're just trying to swim to stay above water? That's basically been my life this past week, which is why we're starting these streams so late in the evening. And I hate doing this because right now we're in a situation where this is Don's build. I know he wanted to see it live on stream, and I got a text to him around 10 p.m., which was about 40 minutes ago, or an email out to him, letting him know, hey, we're planning to start the stream and this is going to be your build, blah, blah, blah. And I haven't seen a response, and I don't see him in chat, and I feel kind of bad. So I bet he's probably in bed sleeping, thinking this is going to be built another day. So I don't know if I should do this build now. Maybe we could do another build. Although they're all customer builds. So, and I can't do Michael's build, even though he's here, because we're missing a case and a CPU. So, let's see. What can we do? I've got two AMD builds over there, but I think they're missing power supplies. Although I could put a different power supply in there. B580's missing the power supply as well. They were supposed to be here yesterday, and they never showed up. They got delayed in that massive winter storm. Best things are worth waiting for. Yes, sir. I just, while you're here, letting you know where it's at. Joe, I don't know if I would use any AIO for $20. Yeah, it seems a little bit suspicious. I'd be curious. Hey, Mitch, man, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. I'd be curious to see what kind of quality they are for $20. The AIO, that would be pretty interesting. You got a stock build to do? I mean, all of my stock builds that I have here are waiting. I've got the majority of the build here. I'm waiting on like stupid things like the power supply, which I could have just picked up from Micro Center where I was at earlier. You know, just stupid stuff like that. I mean, every single build is waiting on something right now, except for this one and another one, which is for another customer, which I was planning to do tomorrow. And I hadn't texted them to let them know, you know, hey, we're going to do your build, you know. I feel kind of bad doing it this late. Must be a R5 7600. So this is a Ryzen 5 7600X. So it is the 7600X that we're going to be building with tonight. Hopefully, if Don shows up. If Don doesn't show up, I might just pull the plug and we'll do this stream tomorrow night. And we'll double up and I'll just start earlier. Good morning, everyone from Greece. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Our Greece neighbors are here from across the pond. The big pond. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I feel bad doing this build without Don here. Chris Fox was a deal. They don't sell out. They don't sell 240 and then 120 or 18. Oh, what? Was a deal? So you got a deal that sold out on the two. Okay, that's interesting. Hey, owner, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Dark Hollow 1. I am looking to get a PC that keeps up with the times. It's going to kill the bank. Or that's not going to kill the bank, sorry. Any ideas? I have an i5 9th generation 1650 laptop. It's not that good, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the 9th generation CPU family, or the 9th gen CPUs, they're definitely showing their age now. The 1650, that's a 4 gig card, and it's all in a laptop, so it's definitely gonna be a lot slower than, you know, say your typical desktop hardware versions of that hardware. So I would say, if you want something that's going to last a long time, definitely go with the AMD AIM-5 platform. So if you want something similar to kind of like that area price point when you probably bought that new, it would be like a Ryzen 5 7600, or I guess it would be a 9600 now, on, you know, a B650, or potentially, hopefully, B850 sometime soon here in the near future. But that motherboard combination with DDR5 would be a great combo, because the socket on the motherboard will be supported by AMD for many years, at least until 2028, I think, is what AMD announced. So you'll have support for the socket for a while, meaning you can upgrade the CPUs in the socket all the way up until then, which is awesome. You know, gives you a long time of, you know, a good decent amount of time for upgrades. Do another build and wait for Don. That's the problem. All the other builds are waiting on parts except for one, and I did not message I didn't message them to let them know that we're going to be doing the build tonight, so they have no idea. So here we are. Do we do the build, or do we not do the build? How much is this build? This one came out, I think, at $1,100. $1,108 was the total. And we could run through the specs here while we're waiting to see if Don shows up here. But we've got a Ryzen 5 7600X, which has got the 6 cores, 12 threads, and a 5.3 gigahertz max boost. The Thermalright FW240 Black, which is an AIO, so 240mm AIO. It's got the gold accent, which is the main reason why I grabbed this one. Gold accent on the block, which is cool because it's going with the gold and black kind of color scheme that we're trying to work with. And then it also has a screen built into it, which is really cool. We're going to be plugging that into a Asus B650A Prime AX2 Wi-Fi motherboard, which is micro ATX board. But then we have two 16GB sticks of DDR5. I know they came like this, and that's because of the Micro Center bundle. This came bundled with the CPU with a single stick, which is retarded in my opinion. So I had to buy a second stick to make it a 32 gig kit. So it's 32 gigs DDR5 6000 CL36, and that's the G.Skill Flare X5. I've also got an AM5 contact frame for them, and then we have a 1TB M.2 NVMe SSD by Silicon Power. This is the US75 model, if you're curious to look that up. The graphics card is a XFX 6650 XT 8GB GDDR6 128-bit. So for what he's doing, this is an excellent system that will get him on the AM5 platform, that will get him started on the build, you know. So it's something that he can upgrade. Then we have a 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, as well as some gold extensions, and it's going in the Dark Flash DB330M case, which is very similar to the white case that we built with the other night. I think it was Monday night that we built that with. So that's the build. He can watch the DVOD. Yeah, I think that's what we're just gonna. So we'll just start the build, and you know, is what it is. I'm sorry, Don. We have to get through the schedule. I'm so sorry that we started this late. This isn't typical for me. Usually I am better with communication, where I can give you a better heads up so that you can plan your day to watch the stream, and it's been just insane this week, so I apologize. But we'll get the build done, so at least you can start enjoying the build, which is way better than watching it being built. You can always just watch that video anytime on YouTube. If it was me, I'd say wait, but I don't know. Do you have his email? Yes, I have his email and his phone number, and I've emailed and texted him, and I did not see a response, so I feel bad. Alright, so I've decided, let's just go ahead and do it. The heck with it. I can't win them all. I could try. I try to make everybody happy, and that's usually, you know, what holds me back the most. Alright, so the Ryzen 5 7600X is going to be going into the system, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh yeah, the motherboard is out of its box because the seal was broken, and that was very concerning for me. It was from Micro Center. And they told me the reason why it was broken is because they checked the pins at Micro Center, and I knew that, but I pulled it out of the box because it was already open. So I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs, wondering if I'm doing this build or not. Bazooka, welcome back to the build show, sir. True. There is YouTube. Yes. My 9700X Arise Friday. Nice. I see the motherboard is a basic model. Yes, this is, I'd say not basic. The B650 is decent enough for the platform, so he's going to be able to do some upgrades. Yeah, it's the bundle from Micro Center, but I times 2'd the RAM to 32 gigs. Let's go ahead and get zoomed in here so you can get a nice clear picture of the board. There's your AM5 budget-friendly board. All right, let's get the CPU installed. I've got a contact frame for this one as well. Then we'll get our mounting hardware set up for the AIO. Get our RAM installed, get our SSD installed. Let's see how long this takes. While it works, nothing to worry about. Yeah, it is what it is. Watching in power while eating lasagna hits different. Well, damn. I wish I was eating lasagna. That sounds actually really good right now. Walking through Micro Center worked up an appetite. Okay, there we go. CPU installed, contact frame installed. We'll get the RAM, the SSD, and then start on the support brackets or the mounting hardware for the or for the AIO. But the cool thing is I guess it gets 2 G.Skill stickers. You get a nice little sticker with your RAM. So it gets 2 of those. I never realized Microsoft Flight Simulator used so much RAM. Yes. Recommended 64 gigs of RAM. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Minimum of 32 is what I recommend for Microsoft Flight Sim. But yeah, if you want to run some of the higher resolution stuff, you're going to want probably 64. Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? Welcome back to the Bill Show. Game, is the 5700 good enough for 1080p? Yeah. 1080p what, Ant-Man? Gaming? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the 5700X 3D would be the better option with the 3dV cache. That extra cache, yo. Hey, what's up? It's acceptable. It's more than enough for gaming, yes. For 1080p. Yes, I think the most important thing for any flight simulator is honestly the CPU. You want, for example, flight, what is it? Flight Plane or Flight Plane 12, I think it is. That one is super dependent on the CPU, where the graphics card, a 4090, compared to like a 3060, there isn't a huge difference between the two. I mean, there is a little bit, but I mean, it's not significant like it is in Call of Duty or Cyberpunk or, you know, AAA titles. There's less of a difference impact there with the graphics card, more impact with the CPU with the Flight Plane 12. So flight sims are a different beast when it comes to performance. And I work with a lot of guys that do Flight Plane 12 and Microsoft Flight Sim, so they come in here regularly looking to get that extra FPS, because 30 FPS in a flight simulator is really good. How much was the build? This one was about, I think it was 1100. Isn't that what I said earlier? One of the best price to performance CPUs in our time, yes, the 5700X 3D is probably right now the best priced gaming CPU if you're looking for the best performance per dollar. Good point. Okay, we've got our CPU installed, our contact frame, our RAM installed into A2, B2, and our 1TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 by Silicon Power installed. And that's the US75. Now we have mounting hardware. Let's go ahead and tackle that. Mounting hardware from the Frozen Warframe with the gold accent. I think Thermalright's starting to spend a little bit more money on their packaging. It's got this kind of reflective color on the side of the package. They're slowly turning into an NZXT. I'm joking. I am very much so joking about that. How does your servers work? You build and ship, or serves? My service? Yeah, we build and then ship. Hello, Effect. One of the best NZXT, I know. Shocking. I've been going over the specs for my motherboard to get the RAM and memory. They recommended the stuff I picked, not their list. LOL. Interesting. Who recommended it? Do you have a link? You mean to my website? Yes. I can get you the link to the website here. I mean, it's just empowergamingpcs.com. That'll probably get you in the right direction if you were interested. Sent. Holy smokes, that's the website. And yeah, and if you have any questions on anything on the website, there's a custom build area where you can submit a build request if you want a custom build. And then there's also pre-build options on the website as well. So just let me know if you need any help picking out which is the right option for you. You can just simply go to the contact page on the website and submit a contact if you have any questions, and that'll initiate the contact, or you could give me a call, or just ask questions if you're in the Discord channel already. Either way. I've been going over the motherboard spec, or the spec, yeah, we've, yeah, that's kind of strange. I wonder who actually recommended that. I'm trying to be content with what I have and not spending vigorously, yes. I think we all are. I have an idea. You should do a sleeper PC build as a 1K subscriber special. So I have a PC case in the back here, which is an old 2003 Alienware case. It's actually a complete build from 2003, you know, the official Alienware build, but doesn't work, or at least it doesn't display anything. And I think it's the graphics card, and the graphics card is an AGP graphics card. That's how old it is. But what I was planning on doing is actually a build, you know, a newer build in that case, and then kind of renew the case a little bit, modify it so that it has better airflow. Discord, I'll take it. Yeah. Sleeper build. But yeah, that's not a bad idea, a sleeper build. It's been a while since I've done a sleeper build like that. Find an HP case and put an RTX 5090. I don't think a 5090 would fit in any old HP case unless it's like super, super old HP case, you know? Very old. 2-slot card. Yeah, basically I don't think it would fit in the case at all. It's a dual slot even with my own eyes. You've seen it with your own eyes. I don't know. I feel like, you know, maybe for the NVIDIA reference model it's going to be dual slot, but some of the other cards, like Asus, it's probably going to be massive. I can only expect it. It's the new cooler. I'm excited to see it in action. Yeah, me too. I'm actually excited to see if to see it in action. I saw, you know, the reference model, or the yeah, I think it's the Founders Edition. I keep calling it reference, but it's a Founders Edition card, and it does look like a 2-slot card, but I doubt anybody else is going to be a 2-slot card, right? I mean, I guess there are some 4090s that are 2 slots, right? So, oh yeah, just the Founders Edition are the dual. Yeah, and they can get really. I think they did a really good job with the fan design, with one on the back, one on the front, with the airflow, you know, pulling air in and then pushing air out. So I think that's a really good design on a card. Whereas, you know, the traditional design is just dumping air out on the sides of the cards. You know, it just kind of just has more control of where the heat's going, which I like. You know, I like the control. Yeah, 3.5. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. AIVs are 3.5, 3 to 3.5. Yeah. Okay, let's keep making progress. Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to do better with the naming scheme instead of the, like PNY's Vitro or Vetro or whatever the hell it was called. You know how the naming schemes just go around with the 40 series, which is retarded. Gigabyte's like, the Arrow. Like what? An Arrow has nothing to do. What? Why? Why are we doing this? Shit. I don't remember which way they should go. I think they should be facing inward. With the AM5. Yes. Alright, there's that. Now, we are ready for the case. We'll get the case out. This time, I'm going to zoom out first. So we're not, completely zoomed in when we try to get the case out and try to look at it for the first time. I'm sure you guys love that. A little bit crooked. Sorry. Try to straighten that camera out. Whatever. What to do. Never good when you hear something rolling around and rattling inside the case. This is the Dark Flash DB 330M. Oh, I forgot they do this weird thing where they tape the front panel glass to the side panel glass. Which I dislike. But I guess it keeps glass there. Random screw floating around in here, which is a concern. Hope this somehow came out of the package and not from the case itself somewhere. Quite interesting. You have a payment plan? Yes. So on the website we do have Affirm. on the website, so you can use Affirm for the payment plan, and I think we also have PayPal options as well if you prefer that, but Affirm's probably the better payment plan option. Creditor, they have no interest for quite a while actually, which is why I chose them. They have some pretty good no interest options. But as I had always advised people, you know, make sure if you are taking the doing the Affirm or the financing and it's no credit, make sure you pay it off within, you know, that time frame so you don't get hit with interest, because the interest is probably not cool right now. And Power Gaming PC is partnered with Affirm, which is currently offered a special. Yes, nice. Thank you for that, some giant idiot. I have a 7900 XT coming. Yes. Yeah. And it's a 14-inch long and 4.7 pounds. It's a tough gaming. Yeah, that's a big card. It's a beefy boy. It's a massive behemoth that you'll have in your system there. Would you ever go PC part hunting on the dark web? Ant-Man, I try to avoid that. I want to reduce the amount of headaches in the building. I get enough of them as it is without, you know, creating my own damage. So I try to avoid it personally. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. Thank you, Bazooka. Thank you. Overkill is on Discord. He says he does. He says hi, so does Muncie. Oh, what's up? I bet you that's Machu. Machu Man. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. But yeah, tell him I said hi as well. But we're just I think we're gonna go ahead and take these two fans and try to put them towards the bottom. I'm not gonna put them in until I verify that they're actually gonna fit. Pretty sure it will, because the card or the PCIe slot's pretty high up on this board. Pretty sure it'll fit. So we're gonna go ahead and get started by removing these two fans at the top, because that's where our radiator is going to go. They are included with the case. Whoops. Did not mean to let that just free fall. Anybody caught that? Love the work that you do. Thank you. Thank you. You know, some days I do try. Hey, what's up, Tom? Gonna have to bring you my PC in, or bring my PC into you really soon. Either my motherboard or CPU is bad, but I don't want to replace the wrong one. Okay. What CPU motherboard are you running? Just so I can tell you if I have components here to test with. Good evening, Martin. What's up, man? Welcome to the Build Show. Our brand new 5800 X3 still out there? Not really, no. They're really, 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 really rare. So really the next best thing that you can get would be the 5700 X3D for that socket, the AIM4 socket. But I have not seen any new 5800 X3Ds in quite some time now, unfortunately. We're hitting the end of that era. Let's set those here. All right. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to drop the motherboard in here real quick and then confirm that the graphics card will fit with the fans on the bottom. We'll also need to get the studs in here before we put the board in. So this is one thing that I did not think through very well. how small the case actually is, but it'll still fit. I'm pretty confident it'll fit. I'm gonna get save some money, and I think I'm gonna buy a PC. Awesome. Yeah, just let me know if you have any questions when you are ready. Happy to help you out. You have a Z490 Pro and an i7 10700K, so the only thing that I do have here is a i7 10th generation or 11th generation CPU. I don't remember which one it is, but I do not have any 490 Z490s or 590 boards here, and those are honestly really hard to get right now or find unless you buy it used. So you are welcome to bring it in here. We can test out at least the CPU and confirm one or the other is good or bad. Yeah, man, what are your thoughts on the dark web as a IT tech? It's a scary place. It's somewhere that you should be monitoring for information being shared or distributed. So if you don't already have a service in the IT industry, it's something you should start monitoring for your business or your customers, etc., to make sure your data isn't leaked and being distributed throughout the dark web. So there's services out there that you can pay for that will do the monitoring for you and just alert you when that happens. But that is a business. That is as a business, personal. You know, me personally, I don't care if somebody's sharing my information. I've got debt, you know. You want my debt? You can have it. Got a mortgage that I'm paying for. I've got some other, you know, car and other things that I'm paying for. And that debt, if they want it, they're more than happy. I'm more than happy to give it to them. You know, somebody probably steals my information and then looks at it and they're like, "Oh man, that poor bastard." And he's got 3 girls, 3 daughters. I had to upgrade to a 32 gig and SSD to a 1 terabyte in my laptop, but it's on its way out. Yeah, that's really the limitation with laptops for upgrades, is just the RAM and the storage. But all you can get to upgrade, unfortunately. Which is the downside to going with a laptop for, you know, performance like gaming, etc., because you can't keep upgrading it. You know, some use case scenarios are better. Like, I needed a decent laptop for mobility. So the mobility that a laptop offers is nice, but now they have Steam Decks, so it's hard to justify laptops for gaming. But I guess it just depends on the preference of the user at that point. What do you prefer? No, I was just wondering. Yeah. The 5700X3D is a 0.2 gigahertz down clock from the 5800X3D. GPU is running at ×2 3.0, but if I switch to the secondary PCI, it goes back to 4 3.0. Huh. That is interesting. That sounds like a motherboard, honestly, not a CPU. But it still could be a CPU or a bad pin. Could be. It could be either or. You're right. So we could test the CPU at least and see if because at least you have an idea of what to look for. Which I assume you're looking at that in the BIOS or something. So we can drop the CPU into the socket and see if that changes that. And if it does, then you know for sure your CPU is bad. I can't sell you the CPU because it is actually a customer CPU sitting here, and it's been sitting here for like a year and a half now. But and I can't give it to you, but I can at least test it for you to confirm which one is good or bad. So yeah, if you want to bring it in here, I could definitely take a look at it for you. Sure hope this radiator fits. I'm looking at this more and more, and it's like, man, it's going to be tight in here. It's going to be tight. It's tight to build, yeah? Very tight. We like the build to be tight, but A little tight. Next time I will choose bigger case. I think we're just trying to stay within a budget for this one. Like when I'm pricing these things out, I try to think of everything. The hot diggity dog. It's gonna be tight. Alright, first of the 2 gold cables, Tat. Where's Tat to Tuna? I'm so excited about this gold and black build we're going to be doing too. I want one. Adulting is hard, I know. I hate adulting. That gold and black is gonna pop. Long before I had issues, I did swap a 500 gig SSD with a 1 terabyte. Yeah, that shouldn't have caused any issues though. And I do have an M.2, but it's been on for years. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with an M.2. I think it has, unless the board specifically calls out that it reduces the lanes on the PCIe. If you have a specific M.2 installed. Maybe. Looks good. Yeah, thank you. You may have to run out of CPU PCI lane on the 10th gen. If you put well, 10th gen doesn't even support PCI 4.0. So, and neither does the Z490. It's the 11th generation Intel and the 500 series chipset. That's when they started supporting PCIe Gen 4. So 10th gen Z490 is all PCIe 3.0 max. Which, you know, I thought was one of the dumbest things Intel could have done. Is literally 5000 series came out and everything was PCIe 4.0, and then their 10th gen CPUs came out and then they're like, don't look at that. Don't look at the fact that we don't support PCIe 4.0. I swapped an old one with an 870 Evo. Nice. So the 870 Evo, I think, is just Gen 3. I think that's just Gen 3. So that should be PCIe 3.0, I think. Okay, so what we want to confirm is we're going to pretend to slot the graphics card, right? And we want to see if there's enough space down here to install the fans on the bottom. And then also, I want to see if the AIO, which, from what I'm looking at, it's going to fit just fine. There's definitely clearance there. I'm more concerned about the graphics card at the bottom of this case and getting these 2 fans in, because I want the 2 additional fans. If worst case scenario, I have to order 25mm fans, like I mentioned before. Which is a thinner fan. Where's the card? Where'd it go? The card vanished on me. Yeah, GPUs are just a pain in the ass to track down right now. Everything's just really hard to find. I'm 99.9% sure that 8070 Evo is PCIe Gen 3. Somebody can look that up and correct me if I'm wrong. Whoa! Oh. Remove defective film before use. Or protective film. I will do that, don't worry. One thing that I'm really good at is removing the protective films. And that's why we have 3 girls. Alright. So this one's for you. I know you'd like this one, Steve Anderson. The RX 6650 XT. So really nice 1080p card. By AMD. You just have to do all the peels here. You know, the reason why they started doing these plastic peels on all the graphics cards, which I hate, is because too many of you people received a card with a scratch on it and sent it back to them. So to reduce the amount of returns, they started doing these protective films to ensure that no scratches would happen. And if a scratch did happen, they'd blame you, the customer. So that's why these started happening. Cutting down cost on returns. But increased the cost of the packaging, which ultimately impacted the price as well. Because that all gets handed off to you as the customer. Not saying you guys did it, but just saying people in general. That's what people did in the past. I remember talking to nerds about that. Okay, so we're going to pretend to install this card. Oh yeah. There's definitely space down here for the fans. I'm comfortable with it. Just wanted to make sure. That way I didn't look like a complete idiot when I tried to put the card in and it didn't fit. Alright, let's get our front panels connected and get our AIO installed, and then we'll do our bottom fans and move on from there. Giggity giggity goo. USB front panel. Holy shit, so I'm leaving it. Okay. HD audio. USB. Front panel. And then USB-C and USB 3. Right there. Alright, so this is going to be really hard for you guys to see, so I apologize. Yeah, according to the board manual, the top slot on your board is using PCIe lanes with the Evo now, and the bottom slot is in the chipset, and the not the CPU is why you have more with the bottom slot. You could possibly go into the BIOS and manually configure the lanes on it. That sounds right, honestly, if it posts and it works. That sounds more realistic than maybe a bad motherboard or a bad CPU. But if you still want to test it, I can. Yeah, that 10th generation was a weird time where they were shutting lanes down and sharing them. I honestly hated the 10th gen. Because of that, you know, those little things that they don't really call out. Unless you sit there and read the board. And so, it's not the fact that I hate the hardware, it's just the fact that I hate that there was little secrets or quotations that didn't really get presented very well. What is this? Apparently I've completely forgotten how to do front panel. Or my fingers have. My fingers have been playing dumb. Even today, I think some of the motherboards still do that from time to time. I ran into, I think it was like a Z690 motherboard or a Z790 motherboard. I think it was a 690. Hey, Tattoo Tuna! I didn't expect to see you on the slates. Yes, sir, I'm here. Gold Gang, baby. Yes, we're still doing it. But, yeah, even some of the Z790, some of the newer Intel stuff still does that, where you install an M.2 on the top slot, and it changes the PCIe lane for the graphics card slot from 16 to 8x, which is kind of dumb, right? Yeah, that's a good call, chat nerds. I would have had to go look this up. Look up the motherboard anyway. I'm not familiar with that board as familiar anyway. I probably would have been familiar 3 years ago. Yeah, it's a good call to use the GPU-Z. It's the easiest way to probably check the speed. Good call on that too. Make it easy for him. Man, I'm gonna have to have chat nerds around here more often. He answers all these questions for me. Alright, so we're gonna throw these fans in here real quick. I think there was a header down there. User header available there. And one more thing I want to plug in down there before we seal the deal, and that is the USB header for the screen that goes with the AIO. There we go. Okay, so now that that's there, let's get these screwed in and get this AIO in, and I think we're making some progress. I need the stubby guy. What happened to my stubby screw? It's just gone. There it is. Never mind. False alarm. I only find it when I start complaining about it. So when I can't find something, I ask Mrs. Empower, and as soon as I ask her, I find it. And it drives her nuts, but I love that. But it works. You may not believe me that it works, but it does. Never mind, I found it. Isn't that how it goes? Tatutuna, yeah, I tried that, doesn't work. What's going on? Kanye West Tatutuna, or wait, oh holy shit, there's a lot of chats here. Yes, it's stuck blue right now. What? I do not recommend kicking it. I got a Pixel right now. Any tips? I tried. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot you can do with a stuck Pixel other than I think there's some programs out there that try to like change the colors and it eventually might work. The other thing you can do, which might make it worse, is massage it. But honestly, if you got a stuck Pixel, my honest opinion is just send it back and get another one. Return it. If it's a newer screen. I can't remember if that was a newer screen or not. So you took the dog out and saw the ex-girlfriend? She made me feel like crap, so another day, oh well. Oh, I'm sorry, man. You want to see this boot? Well, hopefully this gives you a little bit of pleasure to see this one boot. We're almost there. Making progress. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. Those situations suck. Come on. It's really nice design of a micro ATX case, honestly. Go from worrying about its size and then not worrying about its size and complimenting it. I don't think unplugging it and plugging it back in is going to do anything. Honestly, it's probably going to be a stuck Pixel. You could try massaging it, but that trick doesn't usually work. And if anything, it usually just makes it worse. Pressure massage the area after turning it off. Yeah, you could try that. That's really the only thing you can try to do, and honestly, I think there's programs out there that try to like trigger it to change the pixel, but usually it's a physical thing, you know, and there's no real, you know, good way of fixing that other than sending it back and just getting a new one. And then if it keeps happening, then it's just a cheap panel, you know. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, we're ready to get this AIO mounted. Look at that gold on the AIO, just for you, Tat. Look at that. That gold accent. I know Tuna would love to see this done. He's been waiting for me to do a gold and black build for a while. And finally, we're doing one. Yeah. Yeah, you can check that to see if there's a pixel refresh. That's the only thing I can think of that would be able to, you know, get that pixel unstuck. In the past, I had a BenQ monitor that was a really nice monitor, and it had like 2 or 3 pixels on it constantly. And I would just massage it, and then it would go away for a couple days, and then it would come back. It was a pain in the ass, but I just dealt with it. It didn't bother me too much. But unfortunately, that is part of the monitor game. I have a dead pixel on my bench screen right here. But it's, you know, it's just a bench screen, so it makes no difference for me. All right. Yeah. Fits like a glove. Ah. Too well. Fits too well. So chat, where are you at? I live in Washington. Steve Anderson's asking. The reason I ask is I have a monitor that is not that old if you are local. Nice. I guess Steve's offering a monitor? I'm gonna leave that between you guys and Steve. But if you need help getting it sent out to anybody, Steve, let me know. I can get it out to somebody. I've had actually quite a few people donate hardware to the channel, and then I got it to, you know, like kids or parents that are setting up their kids on PCs and things. You know, like office monitors just to start out with, so they don't have that expense. Things like that. I've done that quite a few times. I've actually got a monitor here for somebody that does that streams. And he's right now closing his game to read his chat in the middle of his stream. So I'm like, dude, we need to get you a second monitor. So I got him a monitor, and I'm going to surprise him with that because he's supposed to come back in and upgrade his Ryzen 5 5600 to a Ryzen 7 5700 X3D sometime this month. So I'm going to surprise him with a new monitor as well. Just so he has it. It's just a basic monitor. There's nothing special about it. But, at least then he'll have, you know, his gaming monitor and then his monitor for his chat. Why does this Thermalrate paste do that? Not every tube either, it's just random. If you've dealt with Thermalrate paste before, you know what I'm talking about. All right, graphics card time. Do. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to try that, yeah. Definitely worth trying things, you know, before you start massaging it and possibly making it worse. But I would open a ticket with your, So I thought you just got that screen, didn't you? Wasn't it a new screen with the new build that you just did? Correct me if I'm wrong. Do. So there's what the front looks like. Look at all that gold and black in there. Very nice. Now we just need to get the RGB looking gold, and it'll be perfect. Whoa. Do. So one thing I didn't think of is the ARGB connection at the top of the board, or the two fans on the top. That is going to be quite interesting. Very interesting. Hope it's like off to the side like it normally is on Asus, and it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so saved. Where'd it go? I am so saved by that. The fact that the RGB's on the side rather than like at the very, very top. Okay, power supply time. Cable management time. If it's new, RMA it. Yeah. Nice. Really nice. So thank you. That's what I say is, if it's new, just... That is a nice tight belt. Thanks. Nice, it's tight. on the newer AIM-5 platform. Don will have years with this build. Lots of upgrade options if he wants to upgrade in the future. And he got his color scheme, which is gold and black. Oh, and don't think I didn't hear you. Your Austin Powers gold. Yeah. I'm glad you saw that. Glad somebody caught it. Yeah, baby. What are we caught up on here? Ah, there we go. Everything's tight. But we like it tight. All right. The final countdown. In a minute. Yes. Okay. Love you. Sweet dreams. Okay. Little Miss needed a hug and a kiss. Good night. You could never say no to that. Ah! Like somebody took a bunch of cables and threw up in here. Crap. Probably should have started doing this first, but it's okay. Use that thing's gonna be fun with the extensions. Yeah, it's not so bad. Not too bad. There's actually pretty good distance between the back panel and there's pretty good cable management space back here. Not too bad. Could be way worse, honestly. Could be way worse. Alright, so these are all gonna go. I'm just gonna make it one lane. One lane to rule them all. Got an MSI Mag 850 GL PSU coming for fully modular. Yeah, the modular power supplies are nice, especially if you're doing your own build. When you're doing customer builds like this, modular power supplies, I still kind of just fill them all out because in the end, I don't want any of the power supply cables missing. So if they come back to me and do upgrades, I don't want anything missing. And 9 times out of 10, I've had, you know, customers misplace the cables if I don't just install them. And then everybody's like wondering why they're getting charged for cables again. Well, we had to buy the new cables again. So that happens actually a lot more often than you think. So now with a modular power supply, I just install all the cables, but they don't get misplaced by mistake or thrown out by mistake, thinking it's extra stuff that they haven't touched in years, and it could be just thrown away. A lot of people do that, not knowing, of course. But doesn't seem to matter how many times I tell them, save the cables, save them. They seem to happen. It seems to happen. So I just keep that from happening and just install them. Dang it. I missed one little freaking thing. I'm just gonna see it. That'll be the next one in here. Good, good. About as clean as we're gonna get it. With the cable extensions in here. Like Chad Nerds was gonna say, or had said, it's gonna be a pain. You're gonna have to go bring it in, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, bring it on in. All right, back panel, and let's plug it in and fire it up. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Pretty clean. Clean up some of this hardware really quick. All right, who's ready to see this thing? Y'all ready to see this thing fired up? I think there was a war movie called Das Boot. Das Boot! Das Boot ist gut, ja? Das ist wunderbar. Das sprechen Sie Deutsch. All right, here we go. 3, 2, before we do this, done. This one is for you. We on the good power supply cable? Ah! Front panel power connector unplugged. We're gonna jump this bad boy. I'll fix that. the power button unplugged itself. Go figure. Oh, and there it is. It's in the fan. I had a feeling that was going to be a problem. When I was plugging it in, it kept wanting to just like pop out, and I must have pulled on it too hard when I was cable managing. Das Boot! So we jumped it with the screwdriver instead. All you got to do is touch the two pins and it'll fire up. But obviously, we'll fix that so that we could use the power button. It's pretty tight in there, yes. I probably pulled on it too tight when I was doing the cable management, and it pulled it right off the pins. Gold AIO 2, we talked about that the other day. I know. It is. It is the Gold AIO. It is the gold cable extensions. Yeah. Das is good, yeah. Nice. Well, I mean, you can't win them all, right? At least it's something stupid simple. And the fan found it for me. It's like, I'm right here. Looks really nice. $1,100 is great. Yeah. I mean, that's what $1,100 can get you. Super solid AM5 build. You know, that's a little future-proofed, right? What brand are those cables extensions? It's by LinkUp. And I think the only place you can really find them is Amazon and places like AliExpress. But Amazon has them. I think they're like $30 or somewhere in that price range for the kit. We need a separate Discord section for gold setups. I don't think there's enough of them for that yet. Not yet. But maybe we can convince people with this. You know, the RGB, just imagine it. The RGB glowing gold. These gold rings, these are all rings, right? That's gonna look really nice with these cables. Really nice. It's gonna be very nice. The only other thing we could have done better is gotten the same matching fans at the top. It would have been probably an extra $20 or $30 for that. 5090 upgrade, yeah, you could just pop the front glass panel off and you could still fit the 5090 in there, no problem. Just take the front glass off and have your 5090 have fresh air. Just pulls fresh air right into the car. LinkUp, yes, LINKUP, correct. LinkUp. LinkUp is the brand name. Two-slot version? No, you could probably do a 3-slot version in this. Take the bottom fans out. You're fine. I'm being sarcastic. If he wants to go to a 5090, I definitely put him in a bigger case. But I don't think this build's ever going to go to a 5090 for what he's doing with it. So he wanted something snappy, quick. And this is a great snappy, quick build. With some horsepower behind the graphics card. Airflow and cooling will never be a problem. And he's got some flare in it, the gold and black color scheme, along with a screen to play with. Really cool customization, other than the fact that the power button doesn't work right now until I take the graphics card out and fix that. You know, that's just always something. Always something. Gold Gang, Gold AIO too, yeah. It's a Gold Gang. Well, there you guys have it. We did the build tonight. I'm sorry, Don, but it is done. That's the benefit, other than me fixing the power cord, doing Windows and the BIOS and all that fun stuff. It's posted. All 32 gigs of RAM, the 7600X. It's asking me, or telling me, there's a new CPU installed and that we need to press F1 to continue. So there we have it. It's a beautiful, another beautiful build done. Just trying to give you some light so you can see the color. What brand? There we are. The computer I'm building is a Linux-only computer. I believe Linux has come of age. Yes, it's come a long way. It has come a long way. That is for sure. I haven't touched Linux in a while either. Definitely something in my to-do list when I have some downtime. Play with Linux, see what's up, or see what's new or what's changed, and curious about the compatibility with some of the newer hardware as well, you know. But that's all we've got for tonight is this build. We're going to be live again tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a massive build with a 4090, 1200 watt power supply, and a Z790, and I think it's a 14900K. And we're going to be running in the that massive Cooler Master case, which I don't even think is going to fit in the stream view. So we're going to be fully zoomed out to even get the whole picture on this build. And then before we do that build, I do want to do one more. So we're going to try to get started a little earlier tomorrow, and we'll have 2 builds planned for tomorrow. Awesome. The computer, I'm playing Indiana Jones on Pop. Oh, nice. That's pretty impressive, actually. You know, if you're able to play, you know, a new title like that on Linux, it's pretty impressive. That means there's a lot of newer hardware support. So that's mostly what I'm curious about, is what kind of hardware support does it have? You know, does it run it the way you would think it would run it? Maybe I'll start offering a Linux option on the website. I don't know very many people that would want to do that, but because everybody's, you know, Windows-based experience. But there you guys have it. We have the build done. The gold and black build is done for the night, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I am gonna, once again, try to start earlier in the evening, so we're not going this late. So I'm gonna say sometime around 7:30 p.m. I'll try. But as you know, I will start the stream when I start the stream, so I apologize. It's not more consistent. It's just how the day plays out, whether or not a customer's coming in, dropping something off, for example. So much boost or so much boost is, you know, might be coming in. I don't know, but looks great. Thank you. 9 p.m. again, probably. I'm gonna try to start earlier. I'm gonna try. So you guys got to hold me to it. Good night, all. Yes, good night. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll see you tomorrow night on the next build, and then the next one, and then the next one. But dun, another one bites the dust. Or no, that's the wrong song. I gotta remember what song I'm thinking about in my head, but not that one. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. See you tomorrow.